Sophie and Natalie, we're at Rimutaka Prison. How are we feeling?
A bit uncertain about what's to come.
Yeah, feeling a little bit nervous, but intrigued about what's going to happen.
What is your image of what is inside the gates?
I think men in orange jumpsuits, eating cafeteria food, perhaps a fight, all from the movies really, I have no idea.
We do get those images. I think what we're going to see from what the guys have said up until now is that is not the image at all. What about you, mate? I mean, this is somewhere where we don't want to visit. I mean, we want to go because we're interested, but we don't necessarily want... This is not a nice place to be.
I think it's this weird fascination that people have with prison, and yeah, that kind of manifests itself in the you want to see but you don't want to see at the same time.
Last chance to pull out.
No, we're going.
You sure? You definitely want to do it?
Yeah, we're here, let's do it.
All right, Rimutaka Prison. Talk to you on the other side. And here we are on the outside. We've just been inside Rimutaka Prison. Was it anything... Excuse the wind. Was it anything like what you thought you were going to see?
No. It was completely different.
Tell me about your, first of all, in the section called Visits.
So we went to the visits room where we met with the psychologist who run programs for 10 men at a time, and there's 30 men going through these programs. And she described the programs and the unit itself. It was really interesting. How did you feel about what they were doing, listening to that psychologist talk? I think we all felt that they were really proud of their work, and they were all about baby steps, and so even if they just saw the smallest change, it made everything worth it, and they weren't about changing people overnight, and they weren't under any illusions about that. But yeah.
Cool. Tell me about being in the kitchen.
That was really interesting too. We met Monty, who sort of runs the kitchen there. In addition to being a trained chef, he's also a qualified probation officer, and he oversees the running of the meals. And there's prison staff who are working in the kitchen who have had to work their way up to being there, and they put out the meals for the 800 to 900 prisoners that are there, and the trays that the food are on are taken to either the pod rooms where the prisoners eat by themselves or the mess halls where other prison blocks eat.
So you were moving in amongst the prisoners. You had a good chat to one of them in particular. What was that like? That
was really cool. We met a prisoner called Wolf who has been designing some cakes as well as vegetarian menus for the prison, and it was really awesome to talk to him. He'd been in prison for some time before he started baking for the prison and designing the menus, and he said that before that time he hadn't really felt like he had a sense of purpose or direction, and to do the baking had really done that, which was awesome.
What sort of guy was he?
He seemed really genuine, and you kind of forgot that he might have done some bad things in his past, and he just seemed really focused on his future and wanting to let us get a little bit of an insight into what his experience has been like.
Did you feel intimidated at any point?
With Wolf? No, not at all. He seemed really generous and kind.
So we're outside, thinking back to your thoughts before you went into the prison. What do you take away? And I want you both to answer this. What do you take away from visiting Rimutaka today?
It just really gave an insight into what it was like to be inside prison, the strict daily life, really. They don't really have much control over what happens when they get up or when they go to sleep, and it was really interesting.
I think something that surprised me was maybe how isolated many of the prisoners are. If they're in a more high security, I guess, block, you know, they eat by themselves, they do a lot by themselves, they're locked in their cells from 5 p.m, some of them, and I was surprised at how little maybe interaction they have with some of the prisoners. And I think that we got a very sheltered tour, you know, people looked after us really well. You know, the prisoner that we met was very nice, and I think maybe for us, you know, it was hard to remember sometimes that we were in a prison, and you know, it's a dangerous place at the end of the day, and the people who are here for a reason, so it's hard to kind of maybe juxtapose these two positions.
So you're both happy you've been part of the experience?
Yeah, it's been a great experience. Thanks, Classic Hits.
Oh, get off. Don't worry about us.
Plug so.
And I guess the important thing that we take away from this is the incredible job that corrections do, how proud they are of what they do, how much effort they put into what they do, how they're working damn hard to make sure prisoners have every opportunity to get better, to get the skills they need to reintegrate into society when and if that time comes. And you mentioned the sense of pride that they carry for their jobs. They're incredible people, hugely outnumbered, incredibly outnumbered. 900 prisoners to 40 odd stuff, incredible. But we're all pretty lucky, aren't we? Yeah. To be honest. Here we go. Backstage pass, Rimutaka prison. Done.